live? Are we on?
We're live.
We are. I don't have a little live box on my video, but you're confident that we are?
I'm confident.
All right. Well, so Sarah and I were just having this. Oh, now see the live thing just popped up.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss this.
I think we do. It's tradition.
That's true.
Okay, so Sarah and I were just discussing sounds in the maze and figured you might as well start recording at this point. Why the heck not?
Yeah.
But specifically what I was interested in talking about was, I guess, sounds in between rooms, like hearing something from somewhere else while you're in the room. Every time that someone talks, you're hearing a noise in the room, I guess, or there's a noise being made in the room. Actually, what instances can you think of, if any, where something making a noise within the room is described, like as opposed to coming from another room? There's like
Within the room itself.
Yeah, there's the phone in 20 is ringing when they enter and then stops. There's in 15, like it's sort of before they enter the room, I guess they hear a thud and then footsteps and a door slam. Oh, hey, Lewis is here.
Oh, that's good.
Wait, it is live.
It wasn't when she said it wasn't. It just is now.
Well, I would have.
I
Like,
was
muted
right.
My,
It just is that there's a delay.
I would have muted my TV and stuff before I joined.
No, you ruined it now.
Another perfect Mazecast spoiled. Wait, I thought Kontiki was going to be here and I could find out, about Kontiki.
No, Kontiki's not responding. He's still trying to come up with a good excuse. He's a bit thrown off his game because he already used birthday 2 days ago, so
He did not expect us to be maze casting again. So
maybe he could use half birthday.
okay, so we're talking about sounds in the maze. One of them that's really sticks with me is from 39. Did we say that already?
no, but that's one of the clear examples of hearing noises from another room from one room, which is, I guess, what I was originally thinking of. Yeah, well, it happens on the path, so you've got ringing that you hear in room 1, and it's sort of ambiguous whether you're hearing ringing from 26 or from 20, although I guess it's suggestive when you walk into 20 and they say the ringing we were hearing finally stopped. That's suggestive that that's the ringing you were hearing in room 1.
Right.
But there's a bell ringing in the adjoining 26 as well.
Wait, wouldn't it be the 26 ringing that you heard?
Well, who knows? That's why I'm saying it's kind of ambiguous. There's ringing in both rooms, adjoining one.
But I'm saying if the ringing stops when you walk into 20, isn't that because you're no longer close to 26 where you could hear the ringing?
No, it's because the phone was ringing, presumably.
And it stopped ringing when you walked into the room?
Yes.
But we don't know that for sure, actually. That's kind of a good point. All it says is the ringing stopped as soon as we entered, and there's a phone, so the implication is that it's the phone, but...
Right, that's true. That's a good point.
Well, and the weird thing about in 26, the bell... It's very strange the way the bell is in 26, because it's not on the floor. The way the shadow is drawn, it looks like it's hovering over the floor or someone has just dropped it.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't think that's a puzzle element. I just think it's poor positioning of the bell. It doesn't look like it's lying flat on the surface the way it should be.
You don't think that shadow is specifically drawn? I'm going to put it up.
Yeah, let me actually have my book with me at the moment so I can actually look at things.
Oh, good.
Where are you, Vance?
In bed.
Oh, okay. Are you home alone?
Alone-ish.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here.
Is me loudly eating an apple on the podcast disruptive?
No more disruptive than my loud sneezes on the last one.
There won't be any more disturbing to the audience than seeing Sarah in her glasses.
For like 5 seconds. Hey, these are very cute glasses, I'll have you know.
No comment. I mean,
Thanks.
I guess you're right about the bell. Like the way the shadow is, it does seem like the bell is just hanging in the air. And you're right.
Right? And that's not a mistake. I mean, he knows how to at least draw a shadow so something looks like it's on the floor.
I mean, he can't even draw a stork so that it's clear it's a stork, so I don't know why you think he can draw a shadow.
Oh,
He's not too good at drawing those bulls either.
oh my God. It's devolving already.
That'd be a good ask, Manson. Why can't you draw bulls clearly?
That's weird. I mean, I don't know where, like, it doesn't even seem like the bell should be getting struck by the light from the moon to cast a shadow. Am I right? I mean, like, right under the stage like that? That's weird.
Yeah.
Where is the shadow? I can't see it on this.
It's just right underneath the bell. It's darkened.
But I mean, if you were to have thought that this was something that could be ringing before the guide actually picks it up and starts ringing it, I mean, is that one way to imply that it is making a sound currently, that it's in the process of falling?
I didn't think so. I think you would have to assume either someone else was ringing it, which there doesn't seem to be much evidence for, or it's just one of those time delay things or time warp things or whatever, like between 10 and 37, or
Maze time.
or like in room 4 when they seem to hear themselves.
Okay.
Which is not, I mean, it's in one way it seems like kind of an excuse, but another it doesn't, because it occurs in other places. I guess maybe not in too many other places. Like 1037 and 4 are the only other places where I can think where they're sort of presumably hearing themselves moving through the maze in a different place. But
Well, are they really hearing themselves, or is it possible there's just different groups of people being led around the maze?
right, I mean that could be too. But in any case, there's still some time weird
I'm a
on.
maze truther. I don't believe the maze has any mystical properties.
They do say that that sounds like us in there specifically, not that sounds like people talking.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
Right.
And
Yeah, but they're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about.
well, independent of that, it's still some weird time distortion stuff because the guide is still in both places.
Right.
Maybe there's more than one guide.
No, White Raven said the single individual. And
Maybe there's both a Minotaur and what's the other guest that people like?
Hermes. I don't know.
Daedalus?
Poseidon? Was Poseidon in the running?
No, I think it was like Daedalus and Minos and the Minotaur were the three.
All right, so let's say it's Daedalus. Oh, is there somewhere in the maze that the missing statue from that one room shows up?
Not that we know of, unless that's somebody who's running around the maze.
I'm pretty sure that's just an extra Atlas clue.
That's a weird thing to be sure of.
Of all the weird things I'm sure of, that's not the weirdest.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable thought to have. It's very strange to be sure of that.
Okay, all right. That's what I think it is.
Okay. How is it an Atlas clue?
Well,
Can you go to that room?
Sure. Those kinds of statues that hold up a roof are also called atlases.
Oh, I see.
So it's like an architectural term.
But isn't there also like Daedalus is the one who makes statues that are so lifelike that they can wander around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought of a terrible one for this room the other day. You want to hear it?
The terrible solutions. Let's have it.
I know, it's so rare I come up with one. So the bird is roosting, which is specifically mentioned in the text. So we have this bird roosting. So that is and it's looking at the doorway to 6, which kind of looks like a house. So the expression is, your chickens have come home to roost. Which means you've made a bunch of bad decisions and now you're paying the price. And if you go through that home door, which is like really bad.
Sarah,
I told you it was bad. I didn't.
No, but what are you doing?
I don't know.
What game are you playing?
I'm playing game of free association. No, you know what game I'm playing. I think it. So we have Manson confirmation for vicious circle and expression. Yeah. Okay, we have confirmation for that. I'm just going to choose to accept that. So that means that probably there are other idioms floating around. So that is the game I'm playing. I'm looking for idioms.
But it's not a chicken.
No, but it's a bird, so we know Manson and birds.
I don't understand. I thought Alex was the one who didn't know that if he wanted you to think of a chicken, he'd probably draw a chicken. If he wanted you to think of a stork, he'd draw a stork.
I think it's generally accepted that when Manson wants to draw a bird that is a specific bird, he's not going to draw that bird.
What?
I don't think anyone is going to argue with that. Anyway, we've gotten really off topic already.
That's all right.
Was there a slated topic for this?
Yeah, it's what I said it was as soon as you joined, after explaining it before you joined.
I didn't hear what you said.
No, I think that's okay, though. I think we should go where the conversation takes us.
Okay.
We've already done like a regimented discussion to an extent of every room in the book. I think it's okay to just float around.
So there's 3 sacks of grain on the ground. Can you free associate a random idiom about grain?
Oh,
or maybe not about grain, because it doesn't have to be about grain, even though he drew grain.
That is a reference to 3 bags full. Black sheep, and black is like, bad, so that's why you don't take that door.
Whoa,
man,
that is
racist. Came up
racist.
that quickly.
See how good I am at this?
Yeah,
you guys are lucky to have me on this team.
Sarah, I don't know if you're allowed to be that racist on Mazecast.
Oh my
quote,
God.
Black is bad, end quote. Wow.
Okay, come on, I am not racist. Black meaning darkness, not black meaning the color of a person's skin.
Words have power, though.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it can still hurt. Let me. I don't know whether we need to talk about.
Are all the bags full, Sarah?
They look pretty full.
But that's not the expression. It's not 3 bags pretty full.
Well, what is full?
And what about that devil bird on top of the 6?
Yeah, it's another Atlas clue.
How's that an Atlas clue?
Devil bird.
Oh, right. Oh, somebody remind me what Seabag OK is. That's like the actual thing in this room, right?
If you take the word C to mean the letter C, then it becomes an anagram for go back.
Oh, yeah. That seems good. Why do we need 4 other things in this room to say go back then? We already have 1.
Well, that's like sort of the mystery, right? Like what's going on with all this other stuff?
Mm-hmm. So probably what those bags are really there for is just, if you're just reading C bag okay and you're not thinking very hard, you're just like, oh, the word bag, I guess I should go through the door that has bags in it.
Yeah, I think that's where the bags come from. Like, it's just meant to make you draw a really lazy connection to the sign and be like, bag, okay. Oh, the bags are okay. I can go that way.
Right.
Have we contacted anybody who's like an expert on birds and shown them the pictures of the birds to see if these birds are distinctive breeds of birds?
Not an expert, although we've put a lot of effort and asked a lot of people to see whether we could find birds that seem to match any of these birds, and we've not come up with anything great.
But I feel like if we found somebody who's like a bird watcher, they'd be good at, they'd be like, oh yeah, that's like a hoopoe.
Maybe.
I know an ornithologist. I will send those pictures.
Yeah, run any solutions by an ornithologist to confirm.
Well, and make sure to send them to the bird finder.
Yeah, the bird finder, always available for your bird-related maze queries.
Run that chickens have come home to roost solution by an ornithologist.
Yes. Yeah.
Say it was confirmed by an expert.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Be like, does this look like a chicken? And they'll say no. It doesn't look like a chicken.
No, that's not how you confirm
No.
things. You'd be like, this bird is roosting, right? Yeah. So that means it's a rooster? Well, I mean, I guess in some sense you could say that. All right. Thank you. That's all I needed.
There weren't enough layers of communication there. You should be asking someone who knows an ornithologist, not the ornithologist himself.
Okay. Okay, you know what's interesting in this room that I think that we don't have a good explanation for is the door being wonky, like the symmetry of the door being wonky. I mean, is that just to confuse you with the text, or what is going on with symmetry in this room?
Can you read the text of the room?
Sure. Do you not have your book, Lewis?
My book is upstairs and I am downstairs.
Oh, so unprepared for this impromptu.
That's the kind of dedication we bring to the table.
Just can't be bothered to go upstairs.
I'm eating an apple.
Okay, all right. Should I read it?
Yes.
Okay. A large square.
Long
It's
text.
a long one. I know, it's long. I'll just read the part about the symmetry. The symmetry was also disturbed by the apparent loss of one of the room's statues. My visitors thought a thief had broken into the room, removed the figure, and made away with it. This, of course, was one explanation. That's the symmetry part.
Okay, if I were going to Gentile my way through this room, I would assume that if you could get the other statue to come back, you could change the number above the door. Like slide the door over and then change what room it goes to.
Yeah, it makes sense.
What does that say? The attitude really beginning to
Irritate me.
I came to think of all the inhabitants of this house as members of my little kingdom. People can be so arrogant. In a very real way, we are all of us animals, at least in part.
So there's
Oh,
one
hey.
of the main Minotaur clues right there.
Well, except he's saying everyone is, and not everyone's a Minotaur.
No, but that's very literal.
You may have noticed I'm more of a literalist with maze than an esoteric maze, eschatologist or whatever you guys are.
Eschatologist.
I'm not like doing haruspicy with my maze reading. I'm just reading the book.
That's not much of a stretch.
No.
No, I know. It is a legit clue.
No, we talked about symmetry extensively when we talked about room 32.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like if there were, I guess the entrance to 16 is fairly symmetrical, like in contrast to all the others.
Mm-hmm.
At least it would be if you were looking at it head on.
Except for the number 16 itself.
Which way is going back from here?
28. And this room is kind of neat because that's the only way you can get in.
11 is the only one whose numerals are symmetric.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if the solution does have something to do with symmetry, then I would wonder, is that why the 11 sign is crooked and the nails are put in so unevenly, is to try to defeat the impression of symmetry you might get from a 1 and a 1.
Right.
Is roosting bird an anagram of anything interesting?
It's
Wouldn't it be great if it was a palindrome?
I have a game I play sometimes where somebody says something and I say that's a palindrome and it takes them a second to realize that it's not. It's not the best prank in the world, but it's a pretty low effort prank, so I do it. It's not quite as good as the prank where I tell people that they should stop being pendants.
Pendants. Right.
Instead of being a pedant.
Yeah.
And then watch them try not to correct me.
Right. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
people make me sick.
Me, people?
And both of you.
I'm one of your favorite people.
And then Sarah's encouraging that. It's not even a pedantic correction.
Right, it's a pedantic correction.
This is one of my favorite rooms, but I don't have anything good for it, really.
I like the room where you're Minnie.
Oh, that's a good one. Let's talk about that one.
What?
Maybe that's what's going on in room 26. That's why the bell's lifted off the ground, and it's because the guide in the group is actually microscopic in there.
Maybe we're microscopic in all the rooms and there's only one room that's to scale. And it's
why
just
we
not
never
mentioned.
see anyone.
Well, what's kind of disturbing if you think, well, not disturbing, but if you think too much about it, you have to look at all these rooms. You're looking at all these rooms from a certain vantage point, but you had to have come through one of the doors. So it's like you go to the room and you back up to your position, and then you have to turn around and look at everything.
I mean,
We're not seeing it from the point of view of the group, though.
You don't think?
No, like look at room 33. We're just like hovering over a pit.
Yeah, I guess so. Does that ever bother you? Is it weird that bothers me?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think I've ever thought that. Not.
all right.
You're right. Like, and there's not even a.
All right, we're gonna crack this fucking code today.
Which fucking. Oh God, no. I don't want to talk about this room anymore.
Ring. Signet. It's a signet ring.
Mm-hmm.
What are other words for what that could be?
I don't know.
Are there two ewers there?
Ewers.
That's a fancy word for vase that you learn if you do a lot of crossword puzzles.
Yeah.
Because it has more vowels than the regular word for vase. Well, no, it's got better vowels.
I was gonna say.
I guess the letter R is what's doing it. It's got the R and two E's.
Yeah, I think it's the position of the letters more than.
And no V. So basically, it's not a very good scoring Scrabble word, but it is a good crossword word. Right? Like, is the one next to 35 the same as the one next to 3?
No.
Okay. How do they differ?
One has a handle on the right side. One has a handle on the left side. One has like a lip for pouring.
Mm-hmm.
One does not. One's a little thinner.
Oh, so the one's like is it a decanter? Go to thesaurus.com and find out synonyms for decanter or vase or ewer.
No.
Okay. But I'm saying, this is how you're going to have to make progress in some of these rooms. To see
Oh, no doubt. I'm not saying that's illegitimate. I'm just not going to go do that right now.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't think that makes for good TV?
I think we should do that offline. Definitely.
Can we recap the Beethoven solution for this room?
No.
We're not doing that again.
It's so good.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go back to talking about sounds for a minute.
Oh, yeah. That's what we were supposed to be talking about.
Right.
So, in another place where you hear sounds is in 39, where you hear chopping and hammering coming from another room, which presumably is a reference to room 4 because there's a hammer and an axe in there that look like they've been used to hammer and chop.
Mm-hmm. And
Sorry, go ahead.
well, I was saying that's the only room if you were on the right path, you would have visited already. So you can be expected to know that.
Yes. Now a question is, what is that supposed to do? Does that mean, so you hear that, you know it's a reference to 4, but you know you can't rely on that kind of thing to tell you that that's the right way to go, right?
Yeah. Right. I mean, if you're going to take an indication as a reason to go somewhere, you do kind of need not just the indication, but something saying this is good or this is a desirable thing for you to follow, which there aren't many of those things.
I mean, in another place, that would be an indication you're not supposed to go there. It
Right.
could be. So we don't have I don't feel we have a good handle for what's going on in 4. I think we came up with,
Can we go to 4?
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
That
I
was
think we came up with some silly stuff that only makes sense when, even that's putting it too strongly, that only has any appearance of plausibility when you know the answers you're trying to get. I don't think there's we found something really telling you what to do. But if we assume that there's something here telling you that you need to return to 4 along the path, right? Which
Mhm.
I don't know what it is. I mean, we've got some things like that there are 2 nails and the 2 pieces being fit, and the idea of having to flip a coin to choose between where you're going to go. There's some suggestion that there are 2 different ways that you're going to go from this room, which I guess could be indicative that you have to return. I don't know. But if we assume that there's something in this room telling you you're going to return here,
Mhm.
that stuff in 39 could just serve as a reminder when you get there and you hear those noises. Oh yeah, room 4. That's the room where the hammer and the chopping, where I'm supposed to go back there.
Mhm.
It's not plausible that anyone would ever actually have those thoughts or make those connections, but when
We can't use that as a criteria.
in Manson's world, where someone might have solved anything in this book, that might have been what he was thinking.
But I think
No.
room 1 is the trap. This is my new view. Room 1 is the trap because there's an actual fucking puzzle there to make you think that the book is going to be full of puzzles. Like solvable puzzles.
Well, it could be. But no, but this isn't like come up with some crazy weirdo conspiracy theory and then we're saying Manson does weird stuff, so that's why. I'm independent of any of that. I'm just saying this is a room that you come back to if there is a puzzle in this room telling you which way to go, and it's necessarily indicating that you're going to be here twice, I suppose, because it has to include 2 different ways for you to go.
Mhm.
So understanding this room correctly whatever the puzzle is, would tell you that you have to come back. And so if you get to 39, reminding you what room 4 is not an unreasonable thing to do.
Which way do you leave this room the second time you're here?
You go to 15.
And which way do you go the first time you're here?
29.
Okay, how do you get 29?
Well, like, what is the puzzle here that gives you 29?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, okay. So what's posted on the Abyss is that it's the axe. All right, it's the axe head and handle that gives you that clue.
Oh, you should just read it straight from the Abyss if you're gonna.
Oh, all right. Okay.
You gotta let Lewis have it like unadulterated.
Okay. I could do that. Am I the only one actually on a computer right now?
I'm on my phone.
I'm on my phone.
Okay.
That's part of why I can't go upstairs.
That does not make sense. All right.
It means
So
I'm laying comfortably on the couch.
Here are the solutions in room 4. Here's the one. The correct doors are 29 on the way in and 15 on the way out. The axe is positioned to cover the correct 2 doors. Independent credit, SP, and White Raven. So that's the door clue. The parts of that's what it is in its entirety.
I mean, that is correct. The axe is covering those doors. That's not a fucking puzzle solution, though.
Well,
here's another solution. The number 29 is above one of the correct doors, and 15 is above the other.
I'm gonna read all the stuff in here because I think it's worth talking about this room. So we have the parts of the riddle, right? We have it, right, which is the word on the way in, which is illustrated by the candle and the hammer and the L picked up on the way out, hidden in the maze as ELL. And is it Owen Hammer who got confirmation of that, or somebody else?
Oh,
Owen Hammer got confirmation of the hit split pit rit mit fit thing.
well, Owen Hammer got confirmation of essentially what we understand to be the entirety of the riddle of the path and the riddle of the maze and all the main contest solutions.
Right.
There's a comment that he left on the Abyss that makes it sound like he specifically had confirmation of all the IT endings in this room.
No, he did. What it was, he was bringing that up then because there were 2 points of the confirmation he got from Manson that contradicted what White Raven had on the site. So he said, he brought up those 2 points and said, I've got confirmation from Manson about these 2 things. It was the it stuff in the words, and it was the O on the scroll in 23. But Owen had, back in the John Bailey days, indicated that he had sent off the solution or his understanding of Maze, like in its entirety, to Manson. Manson had sent it back with a few corrections, and then Owen had listed like all the steps along the riddle of the path. You know, here's the word you get from here, here's how you get it. So all of our understanding of what are the correct solutions were communicated to Manson and to some degree confirmed, according to Owen Hammer.
Owen Hammer, if you're listening, we want you on the Mazecast.
Yeah.
I actually just want you to forward me your correspondence with Manson, but
I want to know everything about him.
I mean, I don't object to him being on Mazecast, but I mostly want to see the correspondence with Manson.
Yeah, so what is not confirmed is that it comes from the shapes of the candle and the hammer, and the way those pieces of wood are sitting also kind of looks like it. What is confirmed is that it comes from sit, fit, hit, unlit.
Wait, sorry, what looks like it?
The candle and the hammer, so an I and a T.
Okay. No, never mind. I don't need to hear all the bullshit. That's fine. I get it now. We're just
Okay.
we're just Rorschaching the room. Or it's not a Rorschach because you're looking to find things, so you're inventing them. You're cave mining for patterns.
Okay, so do you want to hear the rest of what's posted for this
Yes.
one? Okay.
We haven't gotten to the good stuff yet.
Okay.
Okay.
There are 10 hands holding lights, but only the 2 at the far end are lit. The light in this room comes from these 2 lights, not the sun symbol. The statement in the text, a small black cat ran out of a door to my right, points to the right lit hand from the vantage point of the sun symbol. Both doors to the sun's right hand are correct.
Wait a minute.
Now
Why does it refer to the one from the sun's right hand?
Because obviously the guide his secret identity is that he's the picture of the sun on the wall.
No, wait, is there any explanation for why it's the right from the opposite perspective of what you're looking at?
No.
Like you can do that in the room with a stage because there's this concept called stage right that could be invoked very easily in that room. But there's not a concept called sun picture right that you could just be referencing. You need to have something to indicate that you mean the opposite of right.
Well, that's why they have the hands on the wall. That proves that you're supposed to be looking at it from the perspective of the sun with the hands.
Okay. All right.
And then a cat walking out of a door is a pretty unmistakable clue.
Right, because we know exactly which door the cat came out of, so that settles the issue.
Right.
Wait, do we?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, and there's not even any reason to think that the black cat came through the door you want. And
Yeah.
unless the black cat came through both doors, like that's not.
Also, the door immediately to the right is not even an option door.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Okay. Also, the 2 of 10 lit up lights reinforce the 2 theme in other riddles below. We have the axe. I read the axe thing already. The action verbs are either yet to be done or has been done and should be done again. The has been done.
Sorry, what is the 2 theme?
Well, we're getting to that.
Okay.
Well, no, you can. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the action verbs are either yet to be done or has been done and should be done again. The has been done and should be done again group points to the correct doors.
Wait a minute. What is
Let me
hang on.
finish my paragraph
Hang on.
here. All right, and then, okay. The hammer has been used to hit the nails, but they are not all the way in, inviting that they be hit again. There are 2 nails, indicating that we do it twice, thus 2 doors. The hammerhead points to the correct 2 doors. The axe has been used to split the wood, but the one log is not yet split, inviting us to complete the splitting. Okay, so the log is only half split. Each log is split into 2, a suggestion that we must use 2 doors, not just one like usual. The head of the axe covers 1 door, the handle tail of the axe, the other door. There's some duplication here. This statement in the text about tossing coins points to this heads or tails choice of the axe. The connection between the hammer and axe is reinforced in 39 by the chopping, hammering noise, which doesn't help you the first time. The peg and slot poster essentially says in, since both pegs are to be inserted in the slots, and also in, out, given its location on the left side of the room. The former reinforces the 2-door solution. The latter gives us the order. The top peg and slot on the poster represent door 29. Directly behind the poster, the lower peg and slot represents door 15 behind door 29. The order on the poster, 29 above 15, indicates the order the doors are to be taken.
Were you able to maintain focus during all that, Lewis?
No, because every single thing that was said was so perplexing and stupid.
That's why I kept leaving breaks.
Well, because you told me to stop interrupting, so I stopped interrupting. But
I just wanted to finish that one bullet point. Okay, anyway, fine.
Okay, let's start with the fact that all of the verbs are either past tense or future tense. I mean, the chopping is happening right now. Like, it's in the wood. Like,
Well, so here's the thing. We independently came up with a solution that's almost as terrible. So I point that out.
You should be real proud of yourself. You should be real proud of yourself.
No. The opposite. I bring that up because, like, I don't want to seem like, oh, we're so smart and clever, and
Right.
Like ridiculous bullshit that, like, to a degree, it's like, it is like, look at this ridiculous bullshit. But
well,
like,
the people getting credit for this ridiculous bullshit is us. So.
Well, I don't think any of us said that exactly anyway, but it was after some prodding in that direction. But I just didn't want to be gratuitously insulting, as I said during the last one, towards White Raven, even though that is just a long string of nonsense there. Like we've been as guilty of long, well, maybe not as guilty as that, but you know that we've had long strings of nonsense ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the way we saw it was the nails have not been nailed in, the candle has not been lit, the chair is not being sit in, the pegs are not being...
The chair is not being sit in, okay.
Well, you have to assume that the it shit is all connected, right? That it's like the hit, right. And like everything is not being done except for the logs have been split. So like the axe is distinct from the other things, and that it's the one thing in the room that is being used. And so he said that's why it marks the correct doors, which I think is less crazy, but I still don't think that that's a reasonable solution to the room. And that's why I feel, and that's about it. Like once we take away that nonsense, we just have no clue what's going on in this room in terms of telling us which doors to take.
I don't hate the unfinished business, though. I really don't hate that.
Well, but you don't hate anything. You need to have more hate in your heart.
I do. There are a few things I do hate, but not.
What is name a solution that you hate that's not like full on just gibberish?
Oh, well, as soon as you put in that criterion, I don't know if I can.
Well, give me a solution you hate, and I'll tell you if it's too gibberish to count.
Okay, I hate sign in room 8.
Go to room 8. Let's look at that. We're just gonna do some like therapeutic Sarah work right now and figure out what Sarah's deal is. Okay. What is okay? So this is the sign,
Yeah.
and what is the solution that you dislike here?
I can't even explain it.
Has anyone worked out a rebus with the punch stethoscope thing?
No.
That's got to be a fucking rebus. Like,
No disagreement there, but no one can figure it out.
parasol, hunchback, stethoscope.
Go.
You don't feel like the 2 into 1 thing makes some sense with the stethoscope?
Oh man. No.
Sarah.
Wow.
Because it's not all about like hippie new age, feel your way into it, into just a random, like, you know how rebuses work, right?
Of course I know how a rebus works, but what is
Hang on,
to say that...
let me be clear, that is not something one can take for granted with Maze community members.
Okay, all right.
But come on, you know Sarah's
I know that,
good
I
with
believe
real
that
puzzles.
Sarah's one of the better ones on that front.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean she's in the maze community, she's one of the worst ones with bullshit solutions. But I just mean to say, you know from outside experience that she's very good with real puzzles.
Yes, that is true. Okay, is the S that's in this room that's taped to the wall, is that just for the word shoulders?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand why sometimes he just tapes a fucking sign to a room, and sometimes you have to like notice that 11 words start with the same letter. Like,
But
did
this
he just
is my
get lazy?
point. It's not rational and consistent. The things that we know about aren't rational and consistent. So why shouldn't there be other things in here that are kind of...
No, that's fine. That's fine. But like, there's literally no point in just unless you had Manson here to confirm.
Right.
There's no point in just speculating them, because it's literally just free associating, and like you can see whatever you want to see in the room. Like, there is no standard if you just throw away reason and logos in your attempts to make sense of the rooms.
Except that it's kind
Again,
of...
I wrote about it at some length, but his bad solutions and unfair solutions are bad and unfair in certain ways. They're not like wild metaphorical association puzzles, you know, as far as we know.
Yes.
Okay. So we have hunchback, doctor. Does he have a hunchback? That is a hunchback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he looks like the puppet doll from that one room, right?
Well, I mean, sort of, just I guess with the nose and the chin curling.
Okay. He's
You're
got a
talking about room 16?
Yeah, probably. Oh, what's the sign solution that you're supposed to hate there?
I think you just have to go and look at Diane's blog post for that.
Oh, it's that one.
Yeah, it's that one. I thought we were not supposed to be condescending and mean right now.
I forgot.
Oh.
I didn't realize this was the sign that was supposed to get you that.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh. Sorry. I was just remembering how great that post by Diane is. Sorry, is that the accepted solution by the Maze community at large?
Well, there's no democratic process for the maze community at large, but if you go to where White Raven announced that solution, I believe you will find follow-up comments in support, if not awe, of the quality of the solution.
I actually, because we talked about this, and I think only one person put up a positive comment on that. And it did not actually get that many likes.
Like the same 3 people, it's like whatever is said, it's like, oh, brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I don't know. Looking really simply at this room, it could just be everything is pointing to the lower rooms, right? And the room is actually tilted so that it's trying to make you fall towards those lower rooms. 29 is indicated by the light bulb. The only one not indicated by anything is 12.
Which room are you supposed to go through?
12.
No, that seems like some bullshit. Oh, I see. So the stethoscope is 2 into 1 to get you 2 and 1 for 12.
Right.
No,
Well,
veto. Okay.
this is another room with sounds, actually.
Oh, good. That's, as everyone will recall, that's the theme of today's Mazecast.
An exhaustive and concise discussion of sounds in the maze.
Yeah. So what are the sounds in this room?
Someone knocked a bowl off the table. The crash echoed from the ceiling and whispered away down the corridors. I broke another on purpose.
Where's the other broken bowl?
That's the question.
I didn't see any broken bowl.
Well, there's a bowl.
We see bowl. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the bowl that knocked off the table.
Maybe. I mean, it's a.
The first bowl didn't necessarily have to break. It just fell off the table.
Yeah.
Is there anything for any of the junk in this room?
No.
Okay, so we have candlestick, pin, pole, umbrella, bumbershoot, bowl. Oh, so we have a pole and a bowl.
Yeah. Some rhyming stuff. There's like a bowl and a bowling pin. There's a lot of B stuff. If you say like barber pole, bowling pin, bowl, bumbershoot, bulb.
The bulb. I'm not going to group the bulb with the stuff because everything else is on the floor over in one area.
Well, just in terms of being a B object, it is specifically mentioned in the text.
Okay, that's fair. No, don't rotate phone. Hang on. I just want to look at what the word sign looks like upside down. Right, if you flip that sign over, so it's pointing to room 12. Oh, that works. Okay. NQ exclamation mark S. Or NG? I don't know. What letter does that look like?
Looks like a 9.
Mm-hmm.
What is 9 factorial?
I don't think it's 12.
I know it's not 12. It's got to be like a bajillion. Okay. Doctor Clown? That guy's a clown, right?
Yeah.
Hobo?
What was your thing you had in here, Vincent, or do you hate that now?
I'm open to hating anything. I don't know that I hate it, but it was so the impetus for the idea was maybe we should try to imagine what this room looked like before everything was tipped over to the left side. And if you imagine that like the table was standing up and the bowl was on the table as he described, the candlestick was up before it fell over, and the umbrella was over somewhere on the right side before it slid down here, then every door would have something B associated with it except for 12, which would have the candlestick. Like 29 either then has the table with the bowl in front of it, or I guess has the bulb above it, but 6 has the barber pole and 31 has the bowling pin, and unmarked door from 23 has the bumbershoot, but 12 has the candlestick.
What is that? What is the picture above? Can we see any of the picture above the unmarked door?
It looks like a grinning clown with gaps in his teeth.
I don't see the clown aspect of it, but it's a big goofy grin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess there's nothing that specifically says clown.
might just, because of the other clown in the room, maybe seem similar, and because it's kind of grotesque.
Yeah, it's like a funhouse carnival picture or something.
Okay.
Let's talk about your anagram for that.
Well, it comes from 23, and 2-3 can anagram to teeth row, and there's a row of teeth over that door, which is, it seems plausible to me. It's not clear why he would do that, but I guess he might do it for no real reason other than the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's something too, right? Like I think
Sorry,
there's
is the candlestick a B word?
No, it's a C word.
I meant, is there a way to describe a candlestick where it's a B word?
It's impossible.
Okay.
I mean, I think that 2-3 anagram, I think there could be lots of things in here that are just sort of in there for fun, like that.
Yeah, it's possible, but like, so
I know it doesn't help you in your quest.
That's in line with what we're saying here. Don't make it a prerequisite to your solution that this has to be a message giving us the correct door.
Mhm.
yeah.
Like, it may just be a sign over the door telling you where the door is coming from.
Right. No. The 2-3 teeth row, that's fine. And I could see him noticing that anagram and being like, "Oh, I'll put that over a door that came from there, since he can't go through it." But whatever. But like, what I'm trying to figure out is that okay? There's a light switch.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't help me with anything.
Well, but a light switch can be flipped in one of two positions, so that gets you 2. And then there's a single bulb, so that gets you 1.
No, I hate you. There's only one barber pole, but there's 2 things that are like kind of bowling pin-esque if you include the candlestick as one of those things.
Good, you're getting it.
Yeah, I could play that game. It's just not worth spending anyone's time doing that.
Okay. Does anybody else? I know the answer to this already. I don't know why I'm asking.
I love it. I
I see a bowling pin in the negative space between the candlestick and its shadow.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not a bowling pin. I'm more convinced by there being a letter E on the table.
Well, right. I mean, there's no table. You've never seen a table that looks like that. So why is it like that? When I looked through this, long before I was talking to you guys, I thought that might be because there's also, it seems like there's 2 tabletops and 6 legs, which is sort of a plausible way to clue 12, maybe.
Sorry, 2 tabletops?
Yeah, it kind of looks like there's 1 tabletop.
That's just beveled.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm not saying it's something that I thought before I was knee deep in this stuff.
There's only 1 bowl depicted, but 2 in the text. 12. Bam. Done. Solved the room.
Hey, that's pretty good.
There's a candlestick in front. There's a candlestick in front of the correct door. Room solved.
If you look at the table upside down, the legs on the top there make like a 3, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
E. If you turn it upside down, it's a 3, and then there's a 1 beside it from the tabletop.
So it's sort of like a 13.
No,
Or a 31.
that's a 31.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's a nice fake out clue.
Or it's just because it has 6 legs and makes you think it's 6, which is,
Yeah.
there are things that lazy, I shouldn't say lazy, there are things that's simple in there. Like in room 29.
Yeah, so okay, wait. So that's a clue to 31, that's a clue to 6. I'll accept those as possible, like if we want an odd one out or odd one in. So what's cluing 29? Hey, are there any good anagrams for 2-9?
I've looked. I didn't find anything helpful, but
Oops.
part of the problem is like just putting the things in an anagram generator and looking at what comes out. You're not going to find something like F hour tree, right?
No, but you might notice hour is a word that you can make out of it.
Yeah, well, if you were thinking specifically, right, if you were doing it specifically for this room, but I just mean to say, like, I've gone through with an anagram generator and just done like every room in the book, just like 1 2, 1 3, 1 4
Mm-hmm.
for
Yeah.
stuff that sticks out. But the thing is, you're gonna miss unless you're thinking specifically about the right room.
Mm-hmm.
If you miss something like F hour tree where you're not actually
Yeah.
for a perfect anagram.
Yeah, that wouldn't even come up because F isn't a word.
Right.
Wine into. Wine TNO. That's an anagram of N2 wine. There we go. That's an anagram of 2-9. I feel like Lisa in the episode where she goes to visit the Smart family and they're playing the anagram game and someone else gets Alec Guinness and they come up with Genuine Class and then they give her Jeremy Irons and she's like, Iron Jeremy's.
So there are 77 anagrams of 2-9.
Okay.
One of them is 9-2.
That's less exciting.
Yeah. Tine now. Night 1. Oh, none of these are any good. Yeah, 10 wino. No, none of these are good.
Sign pin bowl.
Oh, just anagramming is not interesting to viewers. We should do this stuff offline.
We don't have any viewers in case I don't know if you know this. There's not actually viewers. And if there
Now
are,
listen, that video that we made on Friday night 2 days ago has 20 views already.
how many of those are you rewatching it?
1 ish.
Does it not? Does it actually count reviews from the same one? From the same?
I think it does. I also love that I just held out and you said ish. Because it was more than 1. I didn't know for sure.
No, it wasn't more than, it was like, I did rewatch it, but I couldn't rewatch all 2.5 hours at the same time.
Sure, but it still increments the view count.
Yeah.
But even if everyone involved watched it like twice each, which we didn't, someone is watching that video.
Okay.
Someone's watching this one too.
So I would like to talk about, for 1 second, we do have a person who has come into the chat and said they're a fan. Do you think that person is real or just making fun of us?
Making fun of you. Who could be a fan of this? That's my question. I guess I could be a fan of Vincent's rants, and I do take a certain bemusement in hearing you say I know you guys won't like this, but what do you think of this room made me think of mermaids, and mermaids live underwater, and water is a chemical, so this room is the expression better living through chemistry. I mean, I don't think it's solid, guys, but I'm more sympathetic than you are to that solution.
Yeah, I don't need to appear anymore. You can just say that every time someone says something.
I will say literally that every time.
Every time.
Better living through chemistry.
Sounds in the maze.
I hope Diane joins in the middle of the call and just does the
welcome to Mazecast.
Yeah.
So the sounds in here are kind of interesting in 19.
Yeah, you hear singing coming from another part of the maze. It doesn't seem to actually relate to another room, at least clearly. Like, you don't come to another room and find out who was singing.
Isn't there singing in the room with the homeless banjo mask wearers?
There's no indication that they're singing. It only references their instrument playing.
Right.
Isn't the fact that they're wearing masks to not show you that their mouths are open? Doesn't that count?
Well, it's consistent. We shouldn't rule it out.
Yeah. I mean, and whenever you can't rule something out in Maze, you rule it in, right? That's how it works.
That's the safest way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Somebody's singing and they can't understand. They can't make out what's being said.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be suggested that they're singing in another language. It could mean that it's like an animal.
Is the third tree the only one that's not lit?
I guess it's partially lit. It's less lit than the others, I guess.
It's the one it's in shadow in a way that the other ones aren't.
It's more in shadow.
The third one from the back, you mean?
Yeah, the one in between 31 and 11.
Right. Well, and what? Okay.
What? Were you gonna ask me how that tells us what room to go to?
No.
I mean, are you supposed to go to room 31?
Yeah.
Bam! It tells you the 3. It doesn't matter. Point is, I just was wondering if people agreed that it looked like there was like something distinctive about the lighting on the third tree.
Yeah, you have 3 light trees and 1 dark tree.
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic anagram.
That's not actually an anagram. That's not how anagrams work.
Not by our modern conceptions, but it's a classic anagram.
Yeah, I like the giant David the Gnome. I think that statue there is a pun on David the Gnome.
There's all kinds of wordplay in here.
Because it's both it's like the statue David by Michelangelo, but then also he's wearing a gnome hat.
Oh, that's actually pretty good. I thought you were just being funny because it's not a pun, but you're right. I mean, I'm sure it's not, but that's actually a pretty good interpretation of it.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not what's going on with that, but it was more of a joke than you were realizing.
No, I mean, that's actually pretty clever, though.
Yeah. Has anybody counted the bricks or anything, Vincent?
No, I assume someone has, but I don't
I
know.
think this is a room where there's some pretty good stuff in here.
Uh-oh.
Didn't he confirm? I mean, he confirmed the whole Manson thing, right? Confirmed that this is the room where he appears.
White
I thought
Raven
that was the room with I thought that was the room with the matchstick man.
No, that's Gentile.
Oh. Gentile appears in the maze?
No, that's Gentile. Actually, I don't know. He said Manson was everywhere at some point or another, but room 3 was where I claimed that the room spelled out Christopher Manson as sort of a parody of David Gentile, and he got real upset about it.
Yeah. I remember that. Good times.
No, I don't think Manson has said that he is in here, but certainly there's some reason to think of that statue as being like a sun man.
Mm-hmm.
You have a sun man and you have the artist, both in this room.
Yeah.
And the sun man is backwards, giving you a reason to flip those syllables.
To Manson.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would be Namnus.
Well,
What?
Well, that's Manson's middle name.
Christopher Namnus Manson.
Manson, sun man.
That's why he dedicated the book to his family. His parents gave him a real appreciation for wordplay. That's where he learned to populate names.
Oh man. Is it a copyright violation for us to like look at all these pages for a long period of time on YouTube?
Probably.
Okay. You know what though? If he wanted to send a cease and desist, he'd have to come out of hiding.
That's one way to get him to talk to us, I guess.
You're gonna get a cease and desist from White Raven's lawyer.
I think it's in the spirit of criticism and review.
I take it what we're doing is parody. I don't know about you guys.
I'm deadly serious right now.
I know. That's the sad part.
Well, I mean, it is, but you can cross a line there too, and we crossed it like 100 hours ago.
A line for how much you're allowed to use for criticism?
Sort of. So like I could write a book where I like analyze Harry Potter, right? And I could use quotes from the book in describing it. But if I reproduce the entire book line for line, giving commentary on it, that would not be fair use. And we have shown every image from, I say we, I'm not involved with this presentation in any way.
Yeah, you are.
It's going to be held accountable for any violations taking place from these irresponsible. In fact, I object to.
On advice of counsel, I declined to comment further.
Right, I'm glad you brought it up, Lewis.
Sorry. And are we allowed to use this Mazecast icon without Alex being on the chat?
I don't think Alex would object to that. I don't need, like, I could start it from my own channel, but it just seems simpler to start it from the Mazecast channel.
I understand. You don't want your fingerprints all over this when it goes sideways.
Well, it's too late for that.
But it's interesting. It's an interesting question. What if you didn't write one book that reproduced every line from Harry Potter, but you wrote like 1,000 books, each dealt with a little bit of it?
Yeah, you're like, this is my first book. It's on chapter 1 of Harry Potter. This is my second book. It's on chapter 2 of Harry Potter. This is my third book. They're all micro novels, by the way, so that you can buy them. I'll bundle them together at some point.
The cross Mazecast, you could reproduce the entirety of Maze. We've shown every image from the book, and we've.
You haven't shown all the words.
What's that?
You haven't shown all the words, I assume.
We may have read all the words. Typically, when we were doing a room, we would read all the words.
All the words are freely available for copying and pasting from the Abyss, if you wanted to do that. That would be the easier way to do it.
Yeah.
But none of this, I mean, now I'm getting uncomfortable, but none of this actually.
I mean, you are in massive copyright violation, and you will personally be held accountable. So.
Oh my God.
I hope your kids don't want to go to college. Cross your fingers that they're dumb.
Man. In the end, though, is this going to take income away from Christopher Manson, or is this likely to spur people on to buy the book? I would say the latter rather than the former.
Oh, certainly. No one is using Mazecast as their substitute for owning the book.
Right?
Plus, hasn't Alex bought like 7 copies of the book? Like, hasn't he done all of our part in doubling, tripling purchases?
That's true.
I've personally bought 4. Well, so I've bought 3 new copies myself.
I've bought 2, one for me and one for my brother as a gift.
Yeah, some of mine were gifts, but and my sister bought a used one, which doesn't help him, but.
Yeah, but it's still legal, so.
Yeah, it's legal.
So she's not going to jail.
So we should start buying copies of Maze and sending them to people.
Sarah, maybe she could take care of your kids when you go to jail.
Oh, God.
Don't worry, Vincent will represent you.
I don't think he can do that as an American lawyer.
I mean, Christopher Manson will be suing you in American courts, I imagine.
Oh, right. Well, that's comforting.
You're going to have to travel to Maryland for the trial.
Oh, man. How great would that would
guys,
be great.
In the trial, I could ask him some questions about Maze.
Oh, my God. If we could depose Christopher Manson. Vincent, if you had Christopher Manson for a deposition, How great would that be? You could literally ask him all sorts of stuff about the production of Maze.
And you would have to answer.
You'd have to answer under penalty of perjury.
It's true.
Maybe he'd give you like fucking riddle answers though. He'd be like, I am the third of 6 children. My older siblings are all twice as old as my younger siblings. The older siblings like the following subjects, but in no particular order. I think you have to like sort out what his favorite subject is when you're like, what, like, did you read this book? And he's trying to tell you that he took no English classes or whatever. Oh wow, you are wearing glasses. That wasn't a joke.
It'd be a weird joke to make.
Listen, I don't claim to get the sense of humor here. I did air quotes around a bunch of that. You can't see it.
Better? Is that sexy enough for Mazecast?
Listen, I'm not trying to. That's not what's happening here. This is not about sexy. It was disorienting. Now you look a little bit too Harry Potter, though. I mean, they're not even Harry Potter glasses, but we were talking about Harry Potter, so.
Yeah. All right.
Does your husband have maze fascination?
No, he barely tolerates what's going on, so I have to be a little bit.
Has he read the book?
Yeah. I mean, he's seen it and look. He knows what it is.
What is? Can we get him on Mazecast one time?
He would not come on Mazecast.
What if you told him that for every 10 minutes he talks about Maze, I will talk to him for 20 minutes about West Wing?
I don't know if that would be enough of an enticement.
Okay. Well, you'll have to. I mean, you know how best to entice your husband.
Okay, let's change the subject.
Okay.
So what I was wondering was, why is it that sometimes you hear a sound and it tells you where to go, and sometimes you hear a sound and it doesn't?
Because there's no consistency to the way that Maze is constructed.
Oh, you're right. That's it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to steal your sunshine.
No, obviously it's not consistent, but is there something that distinguishes those cases? I mean, I guess we should
go to the vial room where they lie about what instruments people have.
They're not lying.
Nobody has a viol.
That's a viol. It's a viola da gamba. It's a viol.
Which one is the viol da gamba?
The big one.
Oh. I thought it was a bass guitar.
No. It could be if you didn't know a bass guitar.
The other guy's playing a guitar.
That doesn't look anything like the guitar. Hang on, I'm going to find a picture.
I'm sorry, I thought he was cluing the guitar because he drew a different instrument.
The guitar is a guitar.
No, I thought the other one was cluing guitar. I thought the guitar was cluing viol.
What's going on right now?
Oh, why?
I just didn't know what the hell you're talking about.
Oh, we're just talking about what the instrument is.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Who's on first? Third base. Okay.
I forgot. This actually is another example of hearing sound from other rooms, because in room 7 they hear music playing, which presumably is from here. Although I could see maybe it's supposed to be ambiguous because there are instruments in 33 as well.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to 7.
That's true. That's true. All
We're
right.
in the wrong room. Ow. Have we figured out why there's that toy duck twice? That's got to mean something. Right?
There's a bunch of things that appear twice. Either it means something or they appear twice to make you think it means something, but they do different things and it doesn't mean something. I'm sure there are other options.
But it's a toy duck.
Music was being played somewhere nearby. We stopped to listen for a moment. So that clues rooms, as Vince said, maybe room 33 where there are instruments, or okay. So, but what about the theory that any clue that is in reference to another room is probably a red herring because you're not supposed to go through the maze by like checking what your options are.
See, I actually don't know that I buy that theory. Given the paucity of puzzles that are like solvable the way the room 1 puzzle is, I'm actually increasingly of the opinion that you're supposed to wander the maze.
That's not what I'm saying though. Like I'm saying, I mean, you are supposed to wander the maze, but to know whether there is music in one of those rooms, you have to kind of flip and look at 33, then 36, then 16. But a lot of times when you do that, you get locked in.
No. What I'm saying though is, so you're in room 7, and that way that the text is written makes it sound like you listened to the music and then you went to another room, not the room that music was in, right?
Does it? Give me a second.
To me, it just says they're hearing music in this room.
Right, and then they stopped to listen to it for a while and then moved on. Not we
Right.
went towards the music.
Right.
So
It's
that
not.
to me,
It's not explicitly a we went towards music.
right. In fact, it'd be kind of weird to write it that way if then they went to the source of the music. So you might think, if you're in this room and you have that text, and then you go to the room where the music is being played, you might be like, oh, that's the room that they passed by, not the room that they went to. And so you realize you've gone to the wrong room. Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay. You were just dead silent.
Yeah.
Were you awestruck by my proposal?
No, I see what you're saying. I'm kind of maybe. I mean, I don't know that it's even any kind of a puzzle. It's just a connection between the rooms.
I mean, there's no puzzles in Maze, so.
Like, I think it's misleading to refer to this as cluing
Mm-hmm.
36. Like, I think it's referring to 36.
Mm-hmm.
Is 36 the one with music in it?
Yeah.
That's the one with the string players.
Okay. And which one's 16?
That's your favorite room with the machine.
Is that where you're supposed to go next?
No.
Where are you supposed to go next?
33. 36 and 16 are just like a little corner that it just leads to each other. It's just like a little mini loop in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to go to 33 eventually.
What's in 33?
That's the Beethoven room.
The Beethoven room.
I kind of want to see Lewis do a playthrough actually, because he hasn't got everything memorized yet, and it's fun to watch people do that.
Yeah, I don't know where you go after room 30 or 26 or whatever.
Oh man, let's do it right now.
You should. Can you?
Okay, go to the first room.
All right.
I have to stop by 1 because I have Dungeons and Dragons at 2:00 and I'm the dungeon master.
Okay, that's a good stop.
So I need to prep.
Okay.
All right. Let's go through Fable.
Okay, cheating, but that's okay.
I mean, it's not cheating. I've done that one a million times.
Okay.
Okay. Well, on last episode, I talked about, this room doesn't clue anything useful at all. Sorry, how am I supposed to do this let's play?
Well, you know the answer to this one, so just go through the
Okay, so we go to 30.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know. There's a bell on the ground. Whatever. Okay. All right. You're not supposed to go through 34 because it's a fancy door. You're not supposed to go through 5 because there's an arrow pointing at it. And you're not supposed to go through 15 because if no Eve is an anagram of 1-5. and something about OU. Whatever. So 42.
Okay.
And now we're going to be well past my, like, this is the last room where I remember anything about how to get out of it.
Okay, that's good.
Fuck. Okay. So we just came from 30, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
We shouldn't even give you that kind of information.
It's true.
All right. So we got scissors, salt and pepper, a pear, and a pair of dice. Pair of scissors. Okay, it all says pairs. Pair of boots, single boot. What? I can't see very well in the picture. What is that over to the right there?
The single
it's
boot?
No, I
What?
mean the coat rack, I think, with a
Oh.
coat and a top hat on it.
Yeah. Okay, read me the text for the room.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Here, I can
Okay,
follow along in my actual book and read.
Okay, that's good. Okay.
Okay. The next room. In one corner, a savage animal appeared ready to leap out, roaring, rending with tusk and claw, but it was only a bit of taxidermy after all. I suggested they might wish to hang up their coats before going on. How will we find them? One asked. We might not pass through here again. I assured them I would help them to return. You can count on me, I said sincerely. Still, they wouldn't leave anything behind. Opening one of the doors, we made our way to.
Okay. So here are things that I think from that. The text is cluing 37 because the things you can count on are the dice. And it's next to the coat rack where you would hang your coat and stuff, and also where you'd put your bumbershoot in the elephant foot. So that to me, it might be a red herring, but I think the book is saying that the text of the room is saying to go to 37. But that doesn't tell me why there's all these pairs here. I'm not going yet. Don't hang on.
Okay.
Okay, saints this way, saints that way, sinners this way. Saints and sinners seem like they could be anagrammed. Stains and rinsers, I guess. That doesn't help. Okay, the dice, one of the dice is weird because it's got 2 1s on it. Is that so one die has 1, 2, 3 showing, the other one has 1, 1, 2 showing?
Right.
Okay, so that's, and they both have, well, neither of them has a distinctive 1 facing up. I guess the first one is a 2 facing up. I guess they are sort of like 22. All right, I want to say it's either 37 or 22.
Okay, which one do you choose?
I'm going to choose 22.
Okay. Oops, I keep trying to click on this.
Let's see how quickly I can get to the abyss.
A gaudy that reminded me of a theatrical backdrop. Places like this are overdone for my taste, but some people like the exotic. Well, everyone is a critic. It's true I am by nature extremely critical. Although my life is a lonely one, I have not spared any of my guests the rigor of my judgment. We all have our roles to play. This is not a bad place, really. One could spend quite some time here. However, in their restive way, the group moved on to.
We're going to go to room 38 here because the trident looks like a 3 and it's sitting on top of an octagon. Okay, so we've got we're supposed to see the nose of the ape. So that's the no escape label. But hey, we found the missing shoe from that other room. So I think I won. I won the riddle of the maze, right? Which was to find the missing shoe. Okay, let's see. Is 22 the room that I just came from?
Yeah. Oh, we're not supposed to tell you.
No, you can tell me these things.
It is.
Okay, so I guess, read me the text here.
A narrow space where one wall boasted half-finished carvings and another some sort of carnival poster. There was a little confusion as we made our entrance, but we soon sorted ourselves out. It was impossible to climb up the slippery slide, and another door wouldn't open for us. So after emptying the pebbles from our shoes, we marched on to...
I just came from 22. But you'd only get the pebbles in your shoes if you go by way of 40. So let's go to 40.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You want
Text me up. Yeah.
The foundation of the maze. Deep underground stones had been carved and fitted, passages opened in the natural rock. These symbols are quite unusual, said one. They seem to be primitive signs. Do you know what signs? I asked him. Oh, you know, wind and water, hills and planets. It was surprising that he could identify any of the symbols, but I was relieved that he couldn't read them correctly. Choosing more or less at random, they went through a passageway to...
Okay. Here's the thing I'm going to say. Has anyone decoded these symbols?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I see an R and an A and a T
Mm-hmm.
and an E and a bunch of arrows. Well, maybe it's a W, not an E. I don't know. Anyway. All right. So the nails in the 6 look like they're pointing at the 38. So let's go to 38.
Okay.
Oh, right. That's where we just came from. Let's go back to 40.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's go to 6.
For any reason?
No, it said picking more or less at random.
Oh, all right. You're just doing what you're told.
Okay. A gloomy cave-like place far underground. Even I was oppressed by the weight that hung over our heads. A very small hole high above admitted a feeble light. Standing in the light, one of them put his hand out. I think it may be raining out there. They didn't like the look of the place. You continue to judge everything by the way it looks, I cried, exasperated by their timidity. I knew I shouldn't have said anything. If you think of all the deceptions practiced in my family, particularly on my father, we went down the only way open to us and came to...
So I guess we're gonna go to 40.
Yeah.
Did you consider that the eye might be a 1, meaning you can go back to room 1?
I've heard that theory, but I didn't consider it because it's stupid.
How about the fact that an eye can see, and C is the 3rd letter of the alphabet?
So you go to room 3?
Well,
Is that...
it's an option you had, but you chose to come to 40 instead.
It's not an option that I had. It said you only have one option. So that was 6 that I just went to, so 11.
Okay. Choosing more or less. Oh, guys, keep doing that. Stupid. Okay.
An airy room with many doors. It was a big space, but I still felt crowded. I've always hated confinement. Whatever you do, I warned them, don't touch that. This must be an important room, said one of them. It has more doors than any of the others. This was not true, but I didn't want to interrupt. With so many paths crossing here, we must be close to the center, she continued. I had noticed this guest before. I would have to be careful. This is an important choice, I said, trying to encourage them. Gratefully leaving the room behind, we walked all the way to...
Well, I've solved this room. 40. We go to 40 because it says 4 and there's a T. It's a golf tee.
Mm-hmm.
Credit anchor person Smith. So back to 11.
We're just okay.
And 24.
Okay.
Bam!
Ah!
Got there.
That was
Okay.
fun. So you went to the trap pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, so go back to the room where I must have made my mistake,
Okay.
which is saints this way, sinners that way.
Yeah.
Okay. So now I chose 22. Let's do 37 instead.
Oh, okay. 37. There we go. Okay.
Okay. We've got some platonic solids. We've got a broken die that has no pips on it. We have one die showing 1, 5. One die is showing 1, 2, 3, which is worthless. Let's see. Net. Oh, net is an anagram of 10.
Oh, do you want the
It should be the text.
Yeah.
a long open room with no roof? What is going on here? They wondered. Sometimes important messages are couched in ambiguous terms, I said. That net may help you catch the answer to your question. They looked doubtful. We must look at this from all sides before making a decision. At last, they were learning. They really couldn't decide which way to go. Half of them wanted to go one way, half another. They were close to splitting up when there was a rattling sound and one of the doors was shaken from the other side. They all stopped talking and moved closer together. They soon agreed on a direction, and we departed for...
Okay. So, things I'm seeing are that net is an anagram for 10, and the text was cluing the net. The look on all sides seems to be about the dice. So that gives us the 1, 5 for the die. Are there any good anagrams for 4, 2?
Not that I know of offhand.
Two. Okay. We've got a cone and a vase. Okay, we've got a ball, a bottle, a vase, and a cone. Dice. That doesn't help me with anything.
Do you want to hear the anagrams for 4-2? There's not many.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there are 8, according to this generator.
Okay.
Wolf rut, 4-2. 4 watt, like the British watt. 4 tofu row, turf woo, of ow rut, or fur to ow.
Okay, so those don't help.
2 fur ow actually is relevant.
Split. All right, I'm gonna trust the net clue. Let's go to room 10.
Okay.
All right. Explosion, paint, dancers.
Do you want to read it, Vince?
Oh, when Lewis calls on me, I'll read it.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead, read it.
Okay. A room that smelled of paint. Faint voices, apparently in an argument, came from behind the locked door. You know, said one, that sounds like us in there.
Hey, that's sound from another room.
Yeah. They tried the door, but naturally it wouldn't open. The voices stopped when the doorknob rattled. One picked up the umbrella. It may rain where we're going. I signaled my approval, and after a short rest, we came to...
Let's see. After a short rest. Signaled my approval. Let's go to 41 because that's where the umbrella is pointing.
A room with a special piece of furniture I thought might appeal to my guests. How can we trust that thing, one remarked. Who knows where it ends up? I knew, naturally, but that wasn't the point. They were pretty sure of themselves and went right on to...
Uh,
I just thought of something for this room that I never thought of before, but
Yeah.
I'll wait until. I'll wait.
Okay. Well, Alex was just talking to me about this room the other day, and so it's corrupted for me because he was talking about how there's like multiple omens of danger over on the right-hand side with room 38, and the eye doll is cluing you to room 1. And I remember there was some insane theory about the mushroom on the toe being like an athlete's foot clue or something. We just came from 10. I say let's go to 35.
What
Yes.
I'm
if
gonna have to go pretty soon, so just.
I thought we ended at okay.
what if
33 then.
one's basement? One of them saying,
What was the thing you noticed, Sarah?
"Oh yeah, maybe we should do that if you have to go soon."
Okay, I'll just say it really quick. In 41, he talks about who knows where that thing ends up, which usually interpret that to mean the slide, but in all the doorways, so we have a ladder, who knows where that ends up. We have the mouth of this tuba thing, who knows where that ends up, and the slide. The only thing where there's not like something poking out the door that could be referring to is in 1. So it's maybe an odd one out, 1 in.
I would, instead of saying that it's just like part of the tuba, I would say that the tuba has its end up. That's a better.
Oh, that's true. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a good connection, but all right, go back to 35 and then go to 33. I mean, you can just skip to 33.
Okay.
All right, Beethoven room. Key B. Let's go to room 3. Race for the gold. Okay. Everything is back.
That a reasonable solution? Like those are the 2 signs that have something that rhymes, and then the door that rhymes with that is 3.
Right. It's not a super reasonable solution, but it's in a hurried run through the maze. It's a reason to go.
Okay, I'll stop interrupting.
This also looks like it could be a man's son, by the way. There's a son standing next to a man. I know that's like a Gentile one, but like there's a stick figure man next to a son. Like, how is that not man's son?
No, that's not. It's not crazy.
Okay. What is your sign? This way. So that's 33, 18, 9. Upside down, backwards, pots. Stop. Riddle of the Sphinx. Let's go to 18. Because it's got a sun on the door. Hey, the music room. Let's go to 13. Is that where we just came from? No, okay, we're in the time room. Maze time. Text me, Vance.
Room number 13. They weren't really comfortable here, and I knew why. No, they said. We're not all superstitious. Only some of you, then? They were worried it might be Friday. Well, it's true that it was closer to the end of the week than they realized. It takes a great deal of experience, certainly more than they possessed, to understand how time works in the maze. The clock thought it was 6 in the evening. Quickly moving on, we came to...
Okay, the clock thought it was 6 in the evening. Is the clock actually set to 6?
Yes.
Okay. Closer to the end of the week. Cheesy crazy. Okay, so we've got action. Second. Let's go to 18 because it's the second door and second is missing from the chart. Oh, Go back to the room that we were just in. No, but go. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. 25 or 27. Let's go for 27. Great. There's a shovel. There's a spade. There's a spade in the ground. There's a spade over the door. Let's go through 13. Wait, I've been to 13. God damn it! I keep not paying attention to what room I just came from. All right, let's go to 25.
I love a maze playthrough.
Okay, I've been to 13, so fuck that room. Let's go to 34. I haven't been to 34 yet.
Do you have a reason, or are you just guessing?
I haven't been there yet.
Okay.
I think I've been to
You
35.
did just say that.
Okay, 25, because the guy's going through the door, the hurricane, all that stuff.
All
the
right.
eye room, yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Go back to 35.
35 or 34?
Whichever one I just came from.
Okay.
All right, let's go to room 10.
Okay.
All right, let's do 14 because it looks a little bit like the dancer's legs. Uh, 20. Well, let me hear the text.
One of the bigger rooms in the house. All 3 doorways were dark. Afraid to go out? I asked. Since they tried to think of themselves as adults, they didn't care for my question. Not really, said the thoughtful one, but that doesn't mean we have to go running around out there just to prove something to you. I knew she would bear watching. Choose then, I cried, as if my feelings were hurt. Pay no attention to anything I say. I knew they couldn't afford not to listen to me entirely. They were so easily led. Turning around, the group took a path that completely surprised me after all, and I followed them to...
Let's go to 24, because that's the one that's got something leading you into it.
Da-da-dum.
Yeah, all right, that's good. I died twice. I win. I win at maze. I found the missing shoe. I think that's how I won at maze.
It's so fun to watch people do that. I don't know why, but it really is.
Yeah, imagine how boring it must be for you because you know what the right choice is in every room.
I guess that's why, because you get to relive how it felt when
You
you
probably
didn't know
don't even. You probably don't even accidentally go back to the same room 6 times. You like pay attention to what door you went through.
But that's the thing. It's hard to do that when you don't have everything memorized. It is hard to just remember a number and associate that with it. 1 out of 45 rooms.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I bet Manson would love watching something like that.
I think so, too.
I bet he just laughed like a fucking fiend when he's like, yep, I put that fucking red herring in there, and there's no real puzzle in the room, so fuck you. All right, I should probably get prepping for my D&D game.
Okay. All right, we'll call it. This has been Mazecast, and we've talked about the sounds in the maze.
Plus a bonus playthrough. Let's play maze with a boss hint from Lewis Powell.
Hey, when you title this episode, you should make sure it sounds like this is all about sounds in the maze.
I think it's already titled, but I can probably retitle it. All right. Have a nice afternoon, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.